Beloved soul, there is a secret, simple yet mighty, that unlocks the gates of abundance and summons unlimited money into your life. That secret is this: asterisk asterisk, your words, your thoughts, and your faith create the world you live in. Asterisk asterisk, when you speak, you plant seeds into the fertile soil of the universe. Words of lack grow into weeds of poverty, but words of wealth, spoken with unwavering faith, blossom into gardens of prosperity. Declare with boldness, asterisk, I am rich in every good and perfect gift. Money flows to me freely, endlessly, and in divine order. Asterisk, and so it shall be. Understand this truth: money is not mere paper, nor coins, nor numbers on a screen. Money is energy. It is the breath of circulation, the rhythm of giving and receiving. Just as rivers never cease their flow, so too must the current of money flow through your life. Fear dams the river, faith releases it into a mighty stream. Imagine yourself already wealthy. See the bank account filled. See the doors of opportunity flung wide open. When the image is clear, the universe has no choice but to obey the blueprint of your vision. Your imagination is the workshop of miracles. Do not speak of want. Do not bow before doubt. Say not, asterisk, I cannot afford. Asterisk, instead proclaim, asterisk, I live in divine abundance. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Asterisk, your words are the key. Speak them as law, for indeed they are law. Gratitude is the magnet of miracles. When you give thanks for the money you have, even before it arrives, you summon the riches of heaven and earth. Say with joy, asterisk, thank you for the overflow that is already mine. Asterisk, and more will rush to meet you. Release all fear, release all control, release all worry. Money cannot be chased, it must be allowed. Like the tide of the ocean, it comes in when you trust the rhythm of the infinite. The more you grip, the more you block. The more you release, the more it flows, and when it flows, let it flow through you. Give with gladness, share with joy, for what you give returns multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. To hoard is to strangle the blessing, to circulate is to multiply it. Walk each day as though you are already crowned with wealth. Dress your mind in confidence, speak as though abundance surrounds you. Act as though prosperity is your birthright, because it is, and when you live in that vibration, money must obey. The secret to attracting unlimited money lies not outside you, it lies within you. It lies in your words, your vision, your faith. Claim it now, declare it now, lave it now, and watch the floodgates of abundance swing wide open. For the universe is not limited, and neither are you. You are rich, you are abundant, you are overflowing. Money flows to you now, easily, endlessly, gloriously. The law of the spoken word is the most powerful tool a person has, yet so often it is treated as something casual, something ordinary, when in truth it is extraordinary. Every word that passes your lips is not simply a sound carried on the air, but a command to the universe, a decree issued by your spirit that must return to you multiplied. When you speak, you send forth vibrations, and these vibrations are not idle. They move through the unseen realm. They plant themselves in the fertile soil of creation, and they bear fruit according to their nature. If you sow seeds of lack through careless words of worry and doubt, you should not be surprised when the harvest is scarcity and struggle. But if you sow seeds of abundance through words filled with faith, gratitude, and expectancy, then prosperity must spring forth, for the law cannot be broken. The spoken word is a law of life, and to master it is to master the very fabric of your destiny. Think of how often people speak against themselves without realizing it. They say things like, I can't afford that, or money never stays with me, or times are hard. Each phrase is a negative decree, a binding spell uttered by the speaker's own tongue. These words move out into the universe and call forth exactly what has been spoken. When one says, I can't afford, the universe responds with agreement, shutting doors that could have opened, closing paths that could have led to wealth. When one says, money never stays with me, the law obeys, ensuring that every bit of money that enters will quickly leave. The spoken word is so powerful that it does not question your intent. It only reflects your decree. It does not pause to decide whether you meant it or not. It brings to life what you have declared. Therefore, one must learn to guard their tongue, for careless words are as dangerous as sharp swords, cutting down opportunities before they even appear. On the other hand, when you align your speech with faith and abundance, your words become seeds of gold, multiplying wealth and opportunity in every direction. To say with conviction, I live in divine abundance, money flows to me freely, easily, and endlessly, is to release a command that the universe cannot resist. Such words are not empty affirmations. They are laws in action. When repeated with faith and spoken with the energy of belief, they transform the very atmosphere around you. They begin to shift your mind, your emotions, your actions, and finally your circumstances. Your environment must change because the words you have spoken are alive. They carry a vibration that attracts to them all things of like nature. Prosperous words call in prosperous conditions. Abundant words call in abundant experiences. Words of gratitude attract even more reasons to give thanks. The tongue is the rudder of your ship. It sets the direction of your journey. Where you point it with your words, there your life must sail. The secret is not simply in repeating words mindlessly, but in speaking them with authority, as though they are already established facts. Faith gives weight to words. A person may say, I am wealthy. Yet if in their heart they doubt, their words have no power. But when someone declares, I am wealthy, I am prosperous, money flows to me now, with unwavering faith, then the heavens themselves must obey. This is why it is said that you must speak things that are not as though they already are. You do not wait until your pockets are full to declare wealth. You declare wealth, and the fullness comes as a result of your words. Faith is the fuel that carries your words into manifestation. Words without faith are like arrows without a bowstring. They fall to the ground. Words with faith, however, are arrows of light that fly straight into the heart of the universe and return with the target secured. It is also vital to understand that the spoken word does not operate only in moments of conscious declaration, but in every moment of speech. Every idle word, every casual remark, every careless joke carries weight. To say in jest, I am always broke, is to invite that very condition. To complain continually about bills, debts, or difficulties is to strengthen their grip on your life. The law of the spoken word does not discriminate between serious speech and light speech. It delivers according to what is spoken. Therefore, wisdom is in discipline, training your tongue to speak only that which you desire to see. When tempted to voice lack, replace it with abundance. When tempted to declare defeat, replace it with victory. This discipline reshapes the mind, for the more you speak abundance, the more you begin to think abundance. And when your thoughts and words align, your reality must follow. The creative power of the spoken word is not limited to financial matters alone, but when directed toward money, it becomes a magnet of prosperity. Money is energy, and like all energy, it responds to vibration. Words are vibrations, and when spoken with intent, they set up a frequency that attracts matching circumstances. To say, money flows to me like a river, constant and unstoppable, is to tune yourself to the vibration of wealth. You are declaring not only with your mouth, but with your entire being that abundance is your natural state. The more you declare it, the stronger the vibration grows until money begins to appear in ways both expected and unexpected. Opportunities arrive, doors open, people are drawn to you with offers and connections. The words you have spoken call forth all that is necessary for wealth to manifest in your life. One may ask, but what if I do not see results immediately? The answer lies in persistence and patience. Just as seeds planted in the ground take time to break through the soil and show their fruits, so do words spoken with faith require time to manifest. The delay is not denial, it is the period of growth. Many abandon their declarations too soon, canceling their harvest before it has matured. They speak abundance one day and lack the next, wealth in the morning and fear in the evening. Such inconsistency confuses the soil of the universe. The wise know that persistence is key. Continue to declare wealth, prosperity, and abundance with unwavering faith, and in due time the harvest will be undeniable. Your words will not return void. They must accomplish what you have spoken, for this is the law. The law of the spoken word also requires alignment with action. To speak prosperity yet act in fear is to send mixed signals. If you declare wealth but hoard money in terror of losing it, you contradict your decree. To align your actions with your words is to demonstrate faith. When you say, "I live in abundance," then live generously, live confidently, live with expectancy. Your actions confirm your words, and together they create an unshakable vibration of prosperity. Faith-filled speech supported by faith-filled action is irresistible to the law of abundance. It cannot fail to bring results. Finally, understand that the spoken word is not only about creating money for yourself, but also about circulating good in the world. When you bless others with your words, when you speak life and prosperity over those around you, you multiply the flow of abundance through you. The universe delights in circulation. Money, like water, must move to stay fresh. When you declare abundance for others, you keep the current moving, and in return, it must come back to you multiplied. This is why words of blessing are so powerful. To say, "May wealth and success surround you," is not to diminish your own wealth, but to increase it. What you send out in word and spirit returns to you. The law of the spoken word is impartial. It magnifies what you release, whether for yourself or for others. Therefore, guard your tongue with all diligence. Let every word be a seed of abundance, a decree of prosperity, a declaration of wealth. Speak with authority, speak with faith, speak with joy, and watch as the universe bends to obey. For the spoken word is law, and the law cannot be broken. When you understand and apply this truth, unlimited money, success, and abundance will flow into your life as naturally as rivers flow to the sea. Money is more than the paper in your hand, more than the coins in your pocket, more than the figures typed upon a screen. To see it only as matter is to misunderstand its true nature. Money is energy, divine energy, an instrument of circulation flowing from the infinite source to you and through you. When you grasp this truth, you will never look upon money with fear again, for you will know that it cannot be diminished, it cannot be lost, it cannot run dry, because energy cannot be destroyed. It only changes form, it only shifts its channel, and it is always abundant in the universe. To see money as divine energy is to free yourself from the illusion of lack and step into the reality of everlasting supply. The world often teaches that money is scarce, that it is hard to come by, that one must fight for it and cling to it lest it slip away. This is the voice of fear, and fear is always an illusion. Money, like the air you breathe, is in infinite supply. You do not panic for the next breath, for you trust that the atmosphere around you holds enough for you and for every living being. So it is with money. The infinite mind has created a universe of endless circulation, where energy flows in countless forms: sunlight, wind, rivers, thoughts, and yes, money. To fear its disappearance is to deny the generosity of the source that created all things. Money is divine energy, flowing endlessly, and your role is to tune yourself to its circulation, to open yourself as a channel through which it may move freely. When you see money as energy, you begin to understand its rhythm. Energy must flow, it must move, it must circulate, or it stagnates. This is why hoarding never leads to prosperity. To clutch money in fear is to choke the flow, just as damming a river eventually dries up the land. Prosperity requires circulation. Give, and it shall be given to you. Release, and more will return. This is not mere philosophy, but the law of energy itself. What you send out returns multiplied, for the universe operates on increase, never decrease. Just as seeds planted in soil return as harvest, so money given in faith returns as abundance. When you spend joyfully, when you give generously, when you release money without fear, you declare to the universe, "I know there is more where this came from." That declaration keeps the current moving, and the current must bring back to you more than you released. To align yourself with money as divine energy, you must cleanse your mind of false beliefs that paint money as evil, dirty, or corrupt. Money is none of these things. Money is neutral. It takes on the nature of the consciousness that directs it. In the hands of fear, it becomes a tool of greed. In the hands of faith, it becomes a tool of blessing. When you see money as divine energy, you release judgment, and you allow yourself to receive it freely and without guilt. The universe desires you to live in abundance, for in abundance you are free to fulfill your highest calling, to serve others, to create beauty, to give generously. Poverty serves no one. Scarcity glorifies nothing. Abundance is the natural state of the universe, and money, as its channel, is good, pure, and holy when aligned with right intention. Let us look at the law of vibration. Everything is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your thoughts are energy, your emotions are energy, and money too vibrates at its own frequency. When you worry, when you fear, when you curse money, you lower your vibration and repel its flow. But when you bless money, when you speak words of gratitude over it, when you imagine it multiplying in your life, you raise your vibration and draw it to you like a magnet. The relationship you hold with money determines the speed and abundance of its flow. Do you treat it with respect, with joy, with gratitude? Or do you treat it with fear, resentment, or disdain? The answer is reflected in your bank account, for your outer circumstances mirror your inner vibration. Money, as divine energy, responds faithfully to the tone of your spirit. Consider also that money is a language through which the universe communicates support and opportunity. When you receive money, you are receiving energy that enables you to act, to create, to give, to experience. To reject money out of guilt or false humility is to reject the flow of divine energy into your life. To welcome it with joy is to affirm that you are worthy, that you are aligned with the infinite supply, and that you trust the source to provide. This worthiness is key. Many block abundance not because money is absent, but because their belief in their own worth is absent. Know this, you are a child of the infinite, and all that belongs to the infinite belongs also to you. Money, as one channel of that inheritance, flows to you naturally when you release doubt and embrace your divine right to abundance. When you work, when you create, when you serve, you are not merely earning money. You are participating in the circulation of divine energy. Your talents, your skills, your time are forms of energy. You release them into the world, and in return, money flows back to you as a balanced exchange of energy. To see work in this way is to lift it from drudgery into joy. You are not laboring for scraps. You are engaging in the dance of circulation. The more value you release, the more energy must return. And because the source is infinite, the return is not bound by limitation, but by the openness of your belief. If you believe little, little will return. If you believe much, much will flow. The key is to expand your vision, to see money not as a fixed wage, but as limitless energy that can return in countless streams. Salary, gifts, opportunities, investments, and even unexpected blessings. When you understand money as divine energy, gratitude becomes your natural posture. You no longer see only what is in your hand. You see the infinite reservoir from which it comes. Each dollar becomes a symbol of the source's generosity, a reminder that you are supported, sustained, and supplied. Gratitude amplifies the flow. To give thanks for money before it arrives is to set up a magnetic field that draws it in. To give thanks for money already received is to keep the channel wide open. Gratitude says, I recognize this flow and I welcome more. The universe responds by sending more, for the law of energy is to increase where it is acknowledged. Release the fear of loss. Energy cannot be lost, it only moves. If money leaves your hand, do not panic. Bless it as it goes, for it is circulating, and what circulates must return. Think of money as the tide of the ocean. It recedes only to come rushing back, often with greater force. Fear blocks the return. Faith ensures it. When you spend, say within your heart, "This money returns to me multiplied." When you give, say, "This gift circulates back to me in abundance." In this way, every exchange becomes sacred. Every transaction becomes a declaration of trust in the endless circulation of divine energy. So, let money flow as energy should flow. Do not clutch, do not fear, do not hoard. See yourself as a channel, open and generous, through which the infinite moves freely. The more open you are, the more energy the universe can pour through you, and the more energy you circulate, the more abundance must return to you. This is the law, and the law is unfailing. Money is not your master, nor is it your enemy. It is divine energy, faithful and abundant, ready to flow into your life in endless supply. Align your thoughts, your words, your emotions, and your actions with this truth, and you will never again fear money, for you will know it as what it truly is. The circulation of the infinite in your life, a constant river of energy, flowing, replenishing, multiplying without end. Faith over fear is the dividing line between a life of lack and a life of abundance. Every soul stands at this crossroad daily, choosing either the narrow path of fear or the wide, open road of faith. One cannot walk both at the same time. Fear whispers that money is scarce, that opportunities are limited, that you are unworthy or unable. Faith, however, declares that money is abundant, that doors are ever opening, that the universe is overflowing with opportunities, and that you are fully equipped to receive them. Fear paralyzes, faith mobilizes. Fear shuts doors, faith swings them open, and it is this faith, this confident expectation of good, that calls unlimited money into your experience. The law is simple. What you believe in with your heart and declare with your lips is what you shall see. If fear rules your belief, poverty is the harvest. If faith rules, prosperity blooms. Fear is the great thief of abundance. It drains the mind of creativity. It blinds the eyes to opportunities. It binds the hands that should act. Think of the many who say, "I want wealth," yet within themselves they tremble at every possibility. They fear losing what little they have, so they never release it. They fear ridicule, so they never step out boldly. They fear failure, so they never try. They live in a prison built of invisible bars, bars forged by fear. And yet, the moment they choose faith over fear, those bars dissolve and the world reveals its treasures. Fear is illusion. Faith is reality. Fear says there is not enough. Faith says the supply is infinite. Fear says you will fail. Faith says you cannot fail when aligned with the divine. Fear says hold back. Faith says step forward and receive. Understand this. Money responds not to fear but to faith. Fear repels it. Faith attracts it. Fear lowers your vibration, causing money to flee. Faith lifts your vibration, drawing money like a magnet. Picture a person filled with fear about money. They worry constantly. They speak of debt, lack, and difficulty. Their energy becomes heavy, closed, repelling. Even if opportunities come near, they slip away, for fear cannot hold on to abundance. Now picture a person filled with faith. They speak confidently of money's flow. They expect opportunities. They act boldly, knowing that provision is certain. Their energy becomes light, magnetic, attractive. Money cannot resist them, for faith creates a field that pulls abundance near. The difference is not in circumstance, but in spirit. Faith over fear is the secret. Faith is not wishful thinking, it is certainty. It is the knowing that even when you cannot see the money with your physical eyes, it exists already in the unseen, waiting to manifest. It is the quiet confidence that provision is yours now, not someday, but now. To walk in faith is to live as though the promise is already fulfilled. This is why it is said, "Believe that you have received, and it shall be yours." The order is not to wait for the money to appear before believing, but to believe first, to know first, and then the appearance must follow. Fear demands proof before it believes. Faith believes and creates the proof. This is the power of faith over fear. Fear always looks backward or forward, but never at the eternal now. It remembers past failures, past debts, past disappointments, and uses them as weapons to destroy your present. Or it gazes into the future, painting pictures of disaster, ruin, and loss. Fear is always outside the now. Faith, however, lives in the present. It says, "At this moment, I am supported. At this moment, abundance surrounds me. At this moment, money flows toward me." Faith takes possession of the present, and because it owns the now, it also commands the future. The person who walks in faith is unshaken by yesterday and unafraid of tomorrow, for they know that the same source that provided before provides again and again without end. Fear blocks action. Faith fuels it. Fear says, "What if it does not work?" Faith says, "What if it does?" Fear says, "Do nothing and stay safe." Faith says, "Step boldly and prosper." Many have missed their divine supply, not because the universe withheld it, but because fear kept them from acting on the opportunity that was placed before them. Faith is courageous. It steps out even when the way seems unclear, trusting that the path will light up with each step. And indeed, it always does. Money flows to the bold, to the ones who dare, to the ones who believe enough to act. The timid, held hostage by fear, watch opportunities pass by, while the faithful seize them and prosper. Choose faith and action becomes natural. Choose faith and provision becomes certain. One must also understand that fear is contagious. It spreads from mouth to ear, from conversation to conversation. When people gather and speak of recession, of hardship, of failure, they spread a vibration of fear, and that vibration multiplies poverty. But faith too is contagious. Speak words of faith, and you uplift not only yourself, but also those around you. Declare with boldness that money flows freely, and others will feel the lift of your energy. You become a beacon, drawing prosperity not only into your life, but into the lives of all who hear you. This is why it is essential to guard your circle, to surround yourself with faith-filled voices, with those who speak of possibility, opportunity, and abundance. Fearful voices drag you down. Faithful voices lift you up. Faith is a shield. It does not deny that challenges exist, but it denies them the power to defeat you. When bills arrive, fear says, "You cannot pay." Faith says, "The money is already on its way." When work seems scarce, fear says, "You will fail." Faith says, "A new door is already opening." Faith sees beyond appearances. It knows that the visible is only a shadow of the invisible. The invisible realm is where money first exists, and faith reaches into that realm to pull it forth. Fear sees only the visible and trembles. Faith sees the invisible and rejoices. This is why faith is always victorious. It deals not with illusion, but with truth. To live in faith over fear is to align with the very nature of the universe. The infinite does not fear. The source does not doubt. Creation itself flows with confidence, with generosity, with increase. Look at the trees. Do they fear that leaves will not return in spring? Look at the rivers. Do they fear that water will not flow again? Look at the stars. Do they fear that light will run out? No, all creation rests in faith, in the certainty of abundance. Only humans, through the deception of fear, resist this natural law. But the moment one chooses faith, they rejoin the harmony of creation, and abundance once again becomes natural, effortless, inevitable. Declare within yourself, "I choose faith over fear. I trust in the infinite supply. I know that money flows to me now." Repeat it until it becomes the song of your soul. Let it rise above every doubt, every whisper of worry, every lie of lack. Let faith be the voice that rules you, and fear will fade into nothingness. For fear is only a shadow, faith is the light. And when light shines, the shadow must disappear. Money answers to faith, prosperity answers to faith, abundance answers to faith. Choose it, live it, and watch as your life transforms. For when faith reigns, fear has no power, and unlimited money must flow to you as surely as the sun must rise. The power of imagination is the hidden key that unlocks treasures untold, the invisible brush that paints the canvas of your life, the secret architect that builds the mansion of your destiny. Every image you hold in your mind, whether in faith or in fear, begins to take on flesh, begins to move toward form, begins to call to itself the substance of reality. Imagination is not idle fancy, not mere daydream. It is creation itself in its earliest stage. What you dare to see in the theater of your mind, you will one day touch with your hands. This is why it is said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The images you allow to live in your heart will become the world in which you live. If you would attract unlimited money, you must first dare to imagine it, to see it, to feel it as real, until your entire being vibrates with the certainty of it. Imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Before any invention was born, before any business was built, before any fortune was made, it existed first in the imagination of someone bold enough to see what others could not. The skyscraper was once a picture in a dreamer's mind. The great enterprises that move billions of dollars today were once flickers of vision in someone's imagination. Money itself, as paper and coin, was once only an idea before it became a universal system. All that you see around you was imagined before it appeared, so too with your wealth. You must see it within before you see it without. You must paint the picture of abundance in your inner world until your outer world has no choice but to conform. The tragedy is that most people use this power unconsciously and against themselves. They imagine debt. They imagine failure. They imagine lack, scarcity, and hardship, and then they are surprised when these very conditions appear. But they should not be surprised, for imagination is the womb of creation, and what you hold there cannot help but be born. Fear paints pictures of ruin, and those pictures attract ruin. Doubt paints pictures of insufficiency, and insufficiency comes running. But faith paints pictures of prosperity, and prosperity comes like a river. Gratitude paints pictures of increase, and increase rushes in. The choice lies always with you. You are the painter of your destiny, and your imagination is your brush. What you dare to draw upon the canvas of your mind will one day be displayed in the gallery of your life. To use imagination as the servant of abundance, you must first cleanse it of old images that no longer serve you. If you continually replay memories of lack, if you dwell on failures of the past, if you see in your mind's eye bills piling high and opportunities slipping away, then your imagination is working against you. You must take control of it. Just as an artist chooses carefully what he paints, you must choose carefully what pictures you allow to remain in your inner vision. When the image of lack arises, replace it instantly with the image of abundance. When the picture of debt appears, dissolve it by imagining overflowing accounts. When fear presents ruin, erase it and paint prosperity. This is not self-deception, it is self-creation. You are not ignoring reality, you are shaping reality, for the world you live in tomorrow is built upon the images you hold today. Imagination works best when it is vivid and emotional. It is not enough to say, I want wealth. You must see it in detail. Picture yourself opening a letter and finding a check larger than you ever dreamed. Imagine the sensation of walking into your bank and seeing your balance overflowing. Feel the joy of paying every bill with ease and having more than enough left over. Picture yourself giving generously, supporting causes you believe in, blessing those you love. Hear the sounds, see the sights, feel the feelings. The more real it becomes in your imagination, the more magnetic it becomes to the world around you. The universe responds not to empty wishes but to living images charged with emotion. When your imagination is so strong that you feel the money already in your hands, then the law of attraction is set into unstoppable motion. This power is not reserved for a select few. It is given to every soul. Yet only those who dare to use it boldly reap its rewards. Children understand it best, for they imagine without restraint, without limitation. They play as though they are kings and queens, and in their world they are. Adults, dulled by fear and realism, stop imagining, and so they stop creating. To reclaim your prosperity, you must reclaim your childlike imagination. Do not ask, is it possible? Ask instead, can I see it? Can I feel it? Can I live it in my inner world? If you can imagine it, you can have it. If you can see it in the unseen, it will appear in the seen. Nothing is withheld from imagination filled with faith. Your imagination is also a magnet. The image you hold consistently sets up a vibration that calls matching circumstances to you. Imagine abundance, and opportunities are drawn into your orbit. Imagine wealth, and wealth begins to seek you out. Imagine money flowing, and money flows. The law is faithful, for imagination, faith, and manifestation are threads of the same fabric. You cannot hold an image long enough with conviction without it shaping your reality. The secret is consistency. Do not paint prosperity one day and poverty the next. Hold fast to the picture of abundance until it is engraved upon your mind like a carving upon stone. When the picture is permanent within, it must become permanent without. Imagination also prepares you for abundance. Many ask for wealth but are not ready to handle it. Imagination shapes the mind to receive. By imagining wealth daily, you expand your capacity, you become comfortable with it, you align yourself with its frequency. It no longer feels strange or distant. It feels natural, and what feels natural must come, for life always aligns with the strongest belief. If money feels foreign, it will stay away. If money feels normal, it will draw near. Imagination transforms wealth from a dream into a state of being, and once you are being it, you cannot help but have it. And remember, imagination is not only for yourself, but for others. Imagine abundance for your loved ones. Imagine prosperity for your community. Imagine a world where money flows freely to all. As you expand the picture beyond yourself, you expand the circulation of wealth in your own life. For the universe increases wherever it is invited. And when you invite abundance for many, abundance cannot help but pour through you. The more generously you use your imagination, the more generously life responds. So, dare to imagine, dare to see yourself as wealthy, prosperous, and overflowing. Dare to feel money in your hands before it arrives. Dare to walk in the mansion of your mind before it is built in stone. Dare to live in your inner riches until your outer life bows to their reality. For imagination is the womb of creation, the seedbed of manifestation, the hidden power that turns dreams into gold. Use it with boldness, use it with faith, use it without ceasing, and watch as the pictures you hold become the wealth you touch. The power of imagination is the power of creation itself, and with it, unlimited money must come. Faith over fear in money matters is the dividing line between scarcity and abundance, between living under the shadow of lack and walking boldly in the light of prosperity. Every time you choose faith instead of fear, you unlock doors that no man can shut. Every time you lean into trust rather than trembling at the thought of tomorrow, you step onto the path where money flows, opportunities multiply, and provision appears out of what seemed like nothing. Fear contracts, but faith expands. Fear closes the hand, but faith opens it wide. Fear says, there is not enough. Faith declares, there is always more than enough. And whichever voice you choose to believe, life will rush to prove you right. Fear in money matters has ruined more destinies than actual poverty ever could. Poverty is often temporary, but fear makes it permanent. A person may have little in their pocket, yet if they hold great faith in their heart, they are richer than the one who has millions but trembles every day at the thought of losing them. For money obeys the inner state of the one who holds it. Fear whispers, what if it all runs out? Faith answers, even if it runs out, more will come. Fear screams, you cannot make it. Faith sings, I can do all things through the unseen supply that never fails. Fear is like a locked gate, shutting out every opportunity that tries to reach you. It blinds your eyes to possibilities. It deafens your ears to guidance. It paralyzes your hands from taking the action that would bring increase. Faith, however, is a key that opens gates, a light that reveals paths, a power that strengthens hands to take bold steps. When you walk in faith concerning money, you see possibilities where others see problems. You hear inner direction where others hear confusion. You act with confidence where others hesitate in doubt. Faith transforms lack into supply because it aligns you with the higher law that money must obey. Fear always imagines loss, and imagination, as we know, creates. The one who lives in fear of bills, debt, and ruin will inevitably draw them nearer. For what you fear most, you give the energy of belief. But faith imagines increase, imagines overflow, imagines wealth multiplying, and this too becomes creation. Faith paints pictures of prosperity in the unseen until they cannot help but manifest in the seen. The one who dares to hold faith over fear attracts money not because of luck, but because faith is magnetic. It draws into reality the very substance of what it believes. Faith does not deny facts, but it refuses to let facts be final. The fact may be a nearly empty bank account, but faith says this is temporary, more is on the way. The fact may be a heavy debt, but faith declares, this too shall be cleared and I will rise above it. The fact may be rejection from one opportunity, but faith affirms a greater door is opening. Faith refuses to tremble at what is and holds steady in what shall be. This is why the faithful attract money. They walk as though abundance is already here, and so it comes running. Fear makes you cling tightly, hoarding every coin, shutting off the flow. Faith makes you release freely, knowing that what you give returns multiplied. Fear says, if I spend, I'll have nothing left. Faith says, as I circulate, it comes back in greater measure. Fear makes you play small, stay hidden, avoid risk. Faith makes you bold, step forward, take divine risks that lead to reward. Fear paralyzes you into inaction. Faith propels you into motion. And money, like water, flows where there is motion, not stagnation. To cultivate faith over fear, you must train your inner dialogue. When fear whispers, you will fail, you must answer boldly, I cannot fail because I am supported by a limitless supply. When fear shouts, you are not enough, faith must answer, I am more than enough because abundance flows through me. Every thought is either fear speaking or faith speaking. You must learn to recognize the voice of fear and silence it, replacing it with the voice of faith until faith becomes your constant language. Faith also requires vision. You cannot hold faith in the dark. You must see yourself prospering, see yourself debt-free, see yourself enjoying the ease of wealth. Fear always shows you pictures of ruin, but you can deliberately replace those images with faith, build visions of abundance. Hold the image of money flowing in, of wealth growing, of opportunities multiplying, until faith takes root in your bones. As that faith deepens, fear loses its grip, and the flow of supply becomes unstoppable. Remember this, money itself responds to the vibration you hold. If you hold fear, money avoids you, for fear repels. If you hold faith, money seeks you, for faith attracts, fear contracts, so the flow dries up. Faith expands, so the flow widens. Your choice, moment by moment, determines whether you walk in scarcity or in abundance. Choose faith every time, no matter how small the amount in your hand, no matter how bleak the moment looks. For faith over fear is the secret to prosperity, the bridge from lack to wealth, the hidden magnet that draws unlimited money to you. Dare to stand in faith even when appearances mock you. Dare to say, I am rich, even when your purse feels empty. Dare to give when fear says, hold back. Dare to act boldly when fear says, wait. Dare to trust that the invisible supply is greater than any visible lack, for faith is not timid. It is daring, courageous, and unshakable. And when you live in that faith, money becomes your servant, opportunities your allies, and abundance your constant companion. Faith over fear in money matters is the law that lifts you from surviving to thriving, from scraping to soaring, from enough to overflow. It is the choice that makes you rich before a single coin arrives. And because you are rich within, you cannot help but become rich without. Gratitude multiplies money because gratitude is the energy of increase. When you are thankful for what you already have, You send out a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude is not a passive feeling. It is an active force that draws abundance closer. A grateful heart is like fertile soil. It takes even the smallest seed of money and causes it to grow into a harvest. The one who despises what they have, no matter how small, shuts the door to increase, but the one who treasures it, blesses it, and rejoices in it, opens wide the gates of wealth. Gratitude says, I see the good, I bless the good, and I expect more good. And the law of life is clear. Whatever you praise increases, whatever you complain about diminishes. Think of gratitude as a magnet that pulls wealth toward you. If you wake each morning and complain about lack, you are pushing money away. But if you rise with a spirit of thanks, even if you have only a few coins in your hand, you make those coins glow with energy, and more coins come to join them. If you pay a bill with dread and resentment, you are shutting down the circulation of supply. But if you pay with gratitude, declaring, I bless this payment and rejoice that I had the money to give it, then the cycle of money flows back multiplied. Gratitude transforms every transaction into a seed of increase. Gratitude also changes the way you see money. Instead of focusing on what you lack, it opens your eyes to what you already have. And when your eyes are opened, you realize that abundance has been surrounding you all along. The roof over your head, the clothes you wear, the meal on your table, the opportunities that await you. All of these are forms of wealth. And when you begin to see them as wealth, you align yourself with the vibration of money itself. Money is attracted to the grateful because gratitude resonates with expansion, and money is always seeking expansion. The secret is that gratitude must be felt, not just spoken. Words without feeling carry little power, but when your heart swells with genuine thankfulness, you ignite a current that moves through the unseen. Feel the gratitude deeply, and you will notice that money seems to find you in unexpected ways. A forgotten debt is repaid, a new opportunity arises, a gift comes when you least expect it. These are not coincidences, they are the natural results of gratitude at work. Many people block their prosperity by saying, I will be grateful when I have more, but this is backwards. You will not have more until you are grateful for what you already have. Gratitude is not the result of abundance, it is the cause of abundance. If you wait to be thankful until wealth arrives, you will wait forever. But if you are thankful now, wealth begins to gather to you like rivers flowing to the sea. You must bless the little so that the little can become much. Even in times of struggle, gratitude has the power to shift everything. If your purse feels empty, bless it anyway. Say, I give thanks for the money that has flowed through my hands, and I expect more to come. If your debts weigh heavily, bless them as evidence that you have been trusted with credit, and affirm with gratitude that they are already being cleared. Gratitude transforms burdens into blessings because it changes the way you relate to them. When you look at a challenge through the eyes of gratitude, the challenge begins to dissolve and new solutions appear. Gratitude also works hand in hand with generosity. The grateful person gives easily because they trust the flow of life. They know that as they release money in gratitude, it circles back multiplied. The ungrateful person clings tightly, hoards and withholds, and in so doing, shuts off the very flow they desire. Money loves circulation, and gratitude keeps it moving. The more you give with thanks, the more you receive with joy. It is a never-ending cycle of multiplication. Make gratitude a daily practice. Begin each morning by giving thanks for the money you have, no matter how small. Give thanks for the opportunities awaiting you, for the ideas stirring within you, for the unseen supply already on its way. At night, give thanks again for the provision of the day, for every bill that was paid, for every blessing that arrived. Keep a journal of gratitude specifically for money and abundance. As you write down your thanks, you will feel your energy shift, and as your energy shifts, your financial reality will follow. Gratitude is also contagious. As you express it, you inspire those around you to do the same. Imagine a household, a workplace, or even a community vibrating with gratitude. It would be a place of endless increase. And because gratitude multiplies money, not only would your own wealth grow, but the wealth of everyone around you would rise. Gratitude is not selfish, it is expansive. It blesses you and it blesses others through you. So, if you desire to multiply your money, begin not with schemes, not with worry, not with restless striving, but with simple, profound gratitude. Give thanks now for every dollar, every coin, every opportunity. Bless your money when it comes in, and bless it again when it goes out. See yourself surrounded by the evidence of abundance already in your life. Speak words of gratitude until your heart burns with it, and hold that energy as your constant state. For gratitude is the multiplier of money, the force that takes the little and makes it much, the song that calls increase from every corner of the universe. And when you live in gratitude, you will never live in lack. For gratitude is the key that opens the treasury of heaven and pours out blessings without end. Giving opens the flow of wealth because money, like water, was never meant to stagnate. It was designed to move, to circulate, to pass through your hands and into the lives of others, only to return again multiplied. When you hold back in fear, clutching tightly to every coin, you dam the river of supply. But when you give, when you release freely and joyfully, you break the dam, and abundance rushes back with greater force. The hand that opens to give is the same hand that remains open to receive. To give is not to lose, it is to set in motion the law of increase, a law that always rewards the generous. So many fear that if they give, they will have less, but the truth is, if you do not give, you cannot truly have. A farmer who refuses to plant his seed will never see a harvest. The seed may look small in his hand, but when sown, it multiplies beyond measure. Money works the same way. When you give, you sow, and what you sow must grow. It may not return from the same hand you gave it to, but it will return, often from unexpected places, often in greater amounts than you released. Giving is not subtraction. It is multiplication waiting to happen. Giving also frees you from the grip of fear. Fear says, if I let this go, I may never get it back. But giving boldly declares, I live in an abundant universe where money flows endlessly, and I can never be without. Every act of giving weakens fear's hold on your life and strengthens your trust in the unseen supply. And as fear loosens, the flow of wealth accelerates. Money does not belong to those who clutch it tightly. It belongs to those who trust it enough to release it, knowing it will circle back. To give is to acknowledge that you already have. When you give, you affirm that you are not living in lack but in sufficiency. You are saying, I am rich enough to release, blessed enough to share, confident enough to circulate. And life responds by sending more to the one who already sees themselves as rich. But to hoard and withhold is to declare, I do not have enough. And because life reflects your declarations, it will continue to show you not enough. Giving changes your entire relationship with money. It transforms you from a beggar holding on in fear to a master commanding the flow. The power of giving lies not in the amount but in the spirit. You may give a small coin with great love and faith, and it will multiply into abundance. Another may give a large amount with bitterness and reluctance, and it will return little. The energy with which you release money determines the energy with which it returns. Always give with joy, with gratitude, with expectancy. See your giving as planting seeds in the fertile soil of the universe, and know without doubt that harvest is certain. Giving also aligns you with generosity itself, and generosity is the nature of abundance. Look at creation. The trees give fruit, the rivers give water, the sun gives light, the earth gives sustenance. Life itself is one continuous act of giving. To withhold is to go against the current of life, but to give is to flow with it. When you join the flow, you cannot help but receive, for the current that carries your gift outward also carries supply back to you. Some say, I will give when I have more. But this is a deception. You must give now, even in small measure, for the act of giving is what makes more possible. If you cannot give from little, you will never give from much. If you wait until abundance arrives before releasing, you may wait forever. The secret is to start with what you have. Bless it, release it, circulate it. Even if it seems small, the universe does not measure by size. It measures by faith and spirit, and faith in giving is always rewarded. Giving also creates connections. It weaves you into the fabric of circulation. The one who gives becomes a channel through which abundance flows, and as long as you remain a channel, you will never run dry. People are drawn to givers. Opportunities come to givers. Blessings multiply for givers. The miser, on the other hand, isolates themselves, cuts off flow, and finds that even what they have slips away. Giving not only brings money back, but also relationships, opportunities, and favor. Make giving a way of life. Give to bless others, yes, but also give to remind yourself of the truth, that you live in a universe of endless supply. Give to silence fear, give to affirm abundance, give to circulate wealth, give to multiply your money. Whether you give to a friend, a stranger, a cause, or even to yourself in self, care and investment, let giving be a declaration of prosperity. Every act of giving is like casting bread upon the waters, and it shall return after many days, sometimes quickly, sometimes later, but always multiplied. So, if you desire to open the floodgates of wealth, open your hands to give. Do not give with dread, but with joy. Do not give with fear, but with faith. Do not give with reluctance, but with eagerness. For every gift you release is a key that unlocks greater treasures. Every act of generosity a door that swings open to more. Giving is not loss. It is the law of increase in action, and the one who gives freely shall live in overflow. Persistence brings prosperity because nothing of lasting value is ever achieved through half-hearted effort or fleeting desire. Prosperity, in all its forms, is not won by those who give up at the first obstacle, but by those who press forward when the road grows steep, who refuse to let temporary setbacks define permanent outcomes. Each trial is not a signal to stop, but an invitation to persist. For persistence is the force that turns dreams into reality. Wealth does not simply fall into the laps of the impatient. It unfolds for the one who holds fast, who keeps moving forward with faith when others turn back in doubt. Think of the seed planted in the soil. It does not sprout overnight, nor does it push through the earth at the first hint of struggle. It remains underground, unseen, pressing upward against layers of dirt, reaching for the light that it has never yet seen. If it ceased its striving midway, it would never break through. But because it persists, because it pushes without ceasing, it bursts forth into the sunlight and grows into fullness. So it is with prosperity. Your efforts, though unseen at first, are pressing upward. And if you persist, the day will come when you break through into abundance. Persistence means holding a vision so firmly that no circumstance can shake it from your grasp. It means standing on the promise of abundance even when appearances shout lack. The world may say it cannot be done, but persistence replies, "Watch me." Obstacles may rise, but persistence makes them stepping stones. Doors may close, but persistence finds another or builds one anew. Prosperity does not evade the persistent, for persistence itself draws it closer day by day. Every repeated effort compounds, every consistent action builds momentum, every refusal to quit lays one more brick on the road to wealth. The truth is, many fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack persistence. They quit too soon, turning back just as their breakthrough was within reach. They give up at the 9th hour, unaware that success was waiting at the 10th. But the persistent know that every no brings them closer to a yes. Every failure a step closer to triumph. Every delay a preparation for something greater. They are not discouraged by time, for they understand that time is the servant of persistence. What is started today may not bear fruit tomorrow, but persistence ensures that fruit must eventually come. Prosperity is never an accident. It is the harvest of persistent sowing. Just as the farmer continues to water his field even when no sprouts are visible, so must you persist in faith, in action, in determination, even when results are delayed. Wealth may not appear instantly, but persistence guarantees its arrival. For persistence is faith in motion. It is belief that refuses to die, action that refuses to stop, expectation that refuses to be silenced. Even the laws of the universe honor persistence. Water, though soft, carves valleys and shapes stone, not by force in a single moment, but by persistence over time. The sun rises each day, persistent in its course, and life flourishes because of it. The stars hold their place, persistent in their shining, guiding travelers for centuries. If creation itself is built on persistence, how much more must we mirror this law to achieve prosperity? Persistence also transforms you. It builds character, discipline, resilience. In persisting, you grow stronger than the challenges before you. Each time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are greater than any obstacle, richer than any temporary lack, stronger than any delay. This inner strength is prosperity in itself. For once you have it, external wealth cannot be withheld from you. So persist when others retreat. Persist when the evidence looks bleak. Persist when the world mocks your vision. For every step forward, no matter how small, is a declaration that prosperity belongs to you. The winds may blow, storms may rage, but the persistent remain standing, and because they remain, they win. Prosperity does not belong to the swift who run for a moment, but to the steadfast who endure to the end. Keep going, for every effort is building. Keep sowing, for harvest is certain. Keep believing, for wealth is near. Persistence brings prosperity, not sometimes, but always, because persistence never leaves the field until it reaps its reward. Persistence brings prosperity because nothing of lasting value is ever achieved through half-hearted effort or fleeting desire. Prosperity, in all its forms, is not won by those who give up at the first obstacle, but by those who press forward when the road grows steep, who refuse to let temporary setbacks define permanent outcomes. Each trial is not a signal to stop, but an invitation to persist, for persistence is the force that turns dreams into reality. Wealth does not simply fall into the laps of the impatient. It unfolds for the one who holds fast, who keeps moving forward with faith when others turn back in doubt. Think of the seed planted in the soil. It does not sprout overnight, nor does it push through the earth at the first hint of struggle. It remains underground, unseen, pressing upward against layers of dirt, reaching for the light that it has never yet seen. If it ceased its striving midway, it would never break through. But because it persists, because it pushes without ceasing, it bursts forth into the sunlight and grows into fullness. So it is with prosperity. Your efforts, though unseen at first, are pressing upward. And if you persist, the day will come when you break through into abundance. Persistence means holding a vision so firmly that no circumstance can shake it from your grasp. It means standing on the promise of abundance even when appearances shout lack. The world may say, "It cannot be done," but persistence replies, "Watch me." Obstacles may rise, but persistence makes them stepping stones. Doors may close, but persistence finds another or builds one anew. Prosperity does not evade the persistent, for persistence itself draws it closer day by day. Every repeated effort compounds, every consistent action builds momentum, every refusal to quit lays one more brick on the road to wealth. The truth is, many fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack persistence. They quit too soon, turning back just as their breakthrough was within reach. They give up at the 9th hour, unaware that success was waiting at the 10th. But the persistent know that every no brings them closer to a yes, every failure a step closer to triumph, every delay a preparation for something greater. They are not discouraged by time, for they understand that time is the servant of persistence. What is started today may not bear fruit tomorrow, but persistence ensures that fruit must eventually come. Prosperity is never an accident. It is the harvest of persistent sowing. Just as the farmer continues to water his field even when no sprouts are visible, so must you persist in faith, in action, in determination, even when results are delayed. Wealth may not appear instantly, but persistence guarantees its arrival. For persistence is faith in motion. It is belief that refuses to die, action that refuses to stop, expectation that refuses to be silenced. Even the laws of the universe honor persistence. Water, though soft, carves valleys and shapes stone, not by force in a single moment, but by persistence over time. The sun rises each day, persistent in its course, and life flourishes because of it. The stars hold their place, persistent in their shining, guiding travelers for centuries. If creation itself is built on persistence, how much more must we mirror this law to achieve prosperity? Persistence also transforms you. It builds character, discipline, resilience. In persisting, you grow stronger than the challenges before you. Each time you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that you are greater than any obstacle, richer than any temporary lack, stronger than any delay. This inner strength is prosperity in itself, for once you have it, external wealth cannot be withheld from you. So persist when others retreat. Persist when the evidence looks bleak. Persist when the world mocks your vision. For every step forward, no matter how small, is a declaration that prosperity belongs to you. The winds may blow, storms may rage, but the persistent remain standing. And because they remain, they win. Prosperity does not abandon the one who refuses to abandon the journey. It crowns the faithful with abundance at last.